Okay, so hi everybody. So we've had a couple questions about our water system. So I'm going to take you on a little bit of a tour of how things work in terms of the water system as well as our propane. So what we're going to do first, we'll go outside, and how we'll make that work is I'll show you how the propane works, all the water pipes and everything. From there we'll go downstairs, do a little bit of a tour down there, show you the washer and all that, and we'll finish up in the kitchen. I'll show you how our hot water on demand tank works. So I'll meet you guys outside. All right, so here are our propane tanks. You can see I have 6 of them behind me. So what we have 2 lines here. So there's one line here and there's another line here. And what happens is you can hook both of these lines up to 2 separate propane tanks, and then use that switch, this switch right here, so that you can flip it back and forth depending on which one is full, which one is empty, and that just shuts the gas off so that you can safely disengage the propane without causing any injuries or anything like that. So we currently have 6 of them. We could potentially put in more if we wanted to, but 6 is fine for our needs. We use propane just for heating our water, because we have a hot water on demand system, as well as our stove when we choose to cook on the gas stove instead of on the wood burning stove. Okay, so here beside the propane tanks, we have our 2 main water pipes. They are the ones that we use to control the flow of water in and out of the house. This one here is what we use to shut the water on and off inside the house. If we should leave for an extended period of time, then we would worry about this pipe here. This is the one that we would open to allow all of the water to drain out of the pipes, so that the water doesn't freeze should we be away from the house for an extended period of time. I have my hand here on a little box. You can see that it's got 2 holes in it. What this does is it comes over top these pipes, and it allows for protection from the elements, from birds, from animals, whatever, because obviously we don't want anything chewing on the water pipes or making life difficult in that sense. So that's what these are used for. Okay, so having come back inside, we've now come into the basement, or part of the basement anyways. So just when you come down the stairs here, you'll see that we have 2 water lines that are here. So given the 2 water lines outside that I just showed you guys, so the smaller one that you'll see located over to the one side here, that's the one that we use to draw water in and out of the house. That would be the first pipe that I showed you guys outside. It connects to this one here. If we were to want to shut everything off, we could then do so. All of the water would drain down through the house. You can see we've got all of our pipes here. It would drain down through the house, down through this pipe here. We've got the sink and the shower and the toilet and everything in the bathroom that's all connected, so that's very nicely done, quite well plumbed, if I do say so myself, and it's all nicely run out of the house. So that's how our water essentially works. If we take a look over here, come over here, you can see we do have a washer. It's just a general standard washer, nothing in particular. We do usually have to have the generator running when we run this, just because it is such a big load. We like to make sure that we have enough power to draw on and that we're not depleting the system. We do have an economy mode on this washer, which is great because it allows us to draw as little power as possible from it. For the washer, we usually only use cold water because we do have propane. We run on a hot water on demand system. I haven't found that it affects anything. Like, the clothes still come out clean as long as you use soap and water. It's pretty solid. So that's very nice the way that works. So you'll see here that there's actually this plug here that we have. This is the plug that we plug the washer in. You might ask me why it's not plugged in, and that's because of the fact that it draws what's called a phantom load. So a load that it doesn't actually exist, but it draws a phantom load on our power should we be having it plugged in when we're not actually using it. So in the interest of saving power and being power conscious, we only plug it in when we need to use it, using that outlet back there. You can see actually that now that you look in that area, we've got our kitchen pipes, which you'll see when we go up to the kitchen, and I take you through the kitchen, and that area there. This black one that's coming down here is from the drain from the sink, so everything drains down really nicely from the kitchen sink, and it's not a problem. Okay, so you may notice that we only have a washer. We don't actually have a dryer. So let me take you over to our dryer, or what we like to call our dryer. So if you notice, we do have a wood burning stove, much like the one we have upstairs in the kitchen. Usually what we will do for our clothes is we will dry them using the wood heat. Why buy a dryer and waste the power with a machine dryer when you have drying racks that you can just hang your clothes on? So when we do a load of laundry or a couple loads of laundry, whatever it may happen to be, we'll get our drying racks, we'll bring them over here in this area here, right in front of the wood burning stove. We find they dry out pretty quickly actually, faster than they would with a regular dryer because the stove is always going, because the wood burning heat is always there, and it's quite warm over in this area. So what we have usually in this area over here, our drying racks will usually be for storage in that area. What will usually happen is we'll have this whole area full of wood, but being that we just moved in here, they didn't quite have enough that were stocked in here. So we go outside, we grab the pieces of wood from the shed, bring them in and stock them. It's not a worry. It's actually a really good workout. So this is our wood burning stove. We use it for heat and for drying clothes as well. We also have, and I think this is pretty cool, rock. That is real rock inside our house. We are built right onto a rock actually because we are right in the mountains, and it's in various parts throughout the house. I'm sure you've seen it throughout the basement. It's built into the walls. It adds a really, really cool aspect to the nature of the house itself, and it's part of what makes this log house so cool. So with that, we will head upstairs and I'll show you guys the bathroom and then the kitchen as well, and we can talk about the hot water on demand. So, being that we live in an off-grid home, we've had quite a few questions about the bathroom situation. So, welcome to our bathroom. Wanted to show you guys, we do indeed have a modern shower. It's not like it's a removable head or anything, but we do have the shower. It works very well. Also a tub should we need that. So the biggest difference with the water, especially in an off-grid home that we have hot water on demand, there's not enough pressure coming from the mountain to be able to give us hot water with just the shower. So how we solve that, or how I solve that, because I like hot showers, is I will turn this on. That combines some pressure. Once I turn the tub on, there's then enough pressure with both of the systems to bring hot water in and turn on the hot water tank in the kitchen to have hot water on demand. It takes a minute or two to get there because it is a hot water on demand system, but there's no problems with hot water, and it's really great because, you know, I like hot showers. Yeah, so that's the bathroom. I have a working toilet behind me. It's not a compostable toilet. That was a really big plus with this home because we have the water system and it's on. We don't necessarily need hot water on demand for that, but you do need to be hooked up to something. So now I'll take you guys into the kitchen and we'll just look at the final things that are in the kitchen, talk about the propane a little bit, and that'll be it. All right, so this is the kitchen. Welcome to the kitchen. So if we come over in this direction first, so you'll see here we have our gas stove with our famous cast iron frying pan on the top here. So it's quite small. It works really well for us too. We don't necessarily have to do a whole lot of cooking on this because we like to use the wood burning stove. But the propane tanks that I showed you guys outside, so that those pipes will directly come into here and into the stove, and that's how we power the stove. It works really nicely, works very, very well. One thing that I notice about the propane stove is it heats up a lot quicker than a conventional stove does, like you would have in the city. So that's our gas stove. Coming over in this direction and looking at our hot water system. The final leg of this exploration into our hot water journey here. So this here is where it all happens. You can see behind me I have a black tube-like device. That is where all of the cold water that comes into the house is stored. What happens, and you'll see next to it, we have a stainless steel operating system. That is our hot water on demand system. So when we turn on the hot water and we're asking the system for hot water, it will come out of the black tank. It will run through the tubes. It will only have whatever it needs to do in there. So it will come out as hot water, the exact amount that we're asking for, come back out through the tubes, and then wherever it needs to go. The beauty of a hot water on demand system is that you're only ever using the hot water that you need. You're not ever asking for too much because the system only heats it as you need it. So that's really nice. The only thing with this hot water on demand system, you'll see that there's a vent up top there, and that is used to blow off if there is any excess heat or any excess off gases or anything like that. That will burn that off, and it goes right outside and just blows it into the air. And it's just hot air at that point. yeah, and so that's how that works. We have hot water, no problem. It's a great system. I'm definitely very grateful to the owners before us that put it in there, because I like hot showers. As well, you know, for hot water for washing your hands and things, it's nice to be able to turn the tap on and not have to keep a bucket of hot water on the stove. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed a little explanation. If you have any comments, suggestions, or you want to see something in the future, make sure you comment down below. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.